Just looked at
40
that statistic.
times.
40 times
Yep,
more
you read
wealthier
it
than a renter. Oh my goodness.
too.
Look at where we are.
it's it's so important. So take the leap, but do it smart. Don't become house broke. Make sure you have a little
Oh
cushion to
yeah.
the
Oh
best of
yeah.
your abilities,
Yep.
but take the leap and do it. And I haven't met anybody that's regretted it yet.
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is the Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Welcome back to the Closing Table. How you doing, friend? I am your host, and my name is Kevin C. McIntosh. And we have the pleasure of being joined by another very successful real estate agent. She goes by the name of Amber Redman. How you doing, Amber?
I'm doing great today.
Well, thank you for being here, taking time out of your schedule. We already know you could be out there closing these deals, getting people keys to their homes, but you're here with us today. So we want to thank you for that first and foremost. Before you get too serious, Amber, let's be a little childish and play a game. It's called This or That. I got some real estate terms. I got some real estate phrases. Man, I need you to choose one. There's going to be two of them. You just tell me which one you prefer based on whatever characteristics or qualities or whatever. You ready?
Yep, got it. Let's go.
Let's have some fun. First one, single family home or multi-family home?
Single family home.
Fair. Okay. Next one, condo or house?
House.
Townhouse or apartment?
Townhouse.
Rural or urban?
Rural.
Move-in ready or fixer-upper?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's say fixer upper.
I got one last one that I didn't write down. It's coming off the dome.
Okay.
Warranty deed or quit claim deed?
Warranty deed.
I think I know why, based off the education I've had from other agents. But thank you for starting the things off a little loosely with us, Amber. We definitely appreciate that. I also like to start things off following that with giving our guests the moment. 60 seconds or less, can you tell us who is Amber Redman outside of real estate? We want to know who you are as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. So, real estate's a really big part of my life, but I would say outside of real estate, I am a mother, I am a wife, a woman of faith, very family oriented. I love to travel. That's a really important thing to me to get that experience with my kids. And I just started gardening lately, so I love that. Been pretty good at it
Okay.
so far. So, keeping them alive so far. And yeah, I just have a really big passion to help people, to be involved in the community. I actually am I know this isn't talked about a lot, and I think it should be more because there's a stigma around it, but I'm in recovery. So 3 years of sobriety for myself. And
Hey, we
yeah, I'm
celebrate
very
that.
proud of that. But I also like to talk about it because I think people don't talk about it enough, and mental health and things of that nature. So helping people, big thing to me. And have a big orange cat, and we have a little mini golden doodle. So
Oh, nice.
family of furry friends too.
Nice. I,
Yeah.
I love that you brought that up. First and foremost, takes vulnerability. So first and foremost, like I said, congratulations on that again. It definitely
Thank
takes
you.
a strong individual resilient for that. Okay, so Amber, now that we know who you are as a person, let's get into who you are as a real estate agent. You currently serve the mid-Michigan Lansing market, correct?
Yes, yeah. So greater Lansing area. I've sold real estate all throughout the state of Michigan, but my primary market's usually within an hour of Lansing.
Okay. So with that being said, you're also from this area, from the Lansing area, born and raised?
Yes, correct. Born in Lansing, raised just on the outskirts. Yeah.
Gotcha. I completely understand. We're in Eden Rapids, Michigan ourselves. With
Oh,
that being
yeah.
said, you should have extensive knowledge of your community, Amber. So what do you see as the biggest selling points of this community for home buyers?
Oh, there's so many things, but I would say jobs. There's a variety of jobs. You're in the capital city. You've got colleges, state government. There's a lot of a variety of different jobs available to people. Beautiful places to visit. We've got the ledges. That's a Grand Ledge area. Lots of great parks. Fishing, just a lot of lakes, outdoors. So really great things to do there. And I love the community. I think there's a lot of great people around here, and a lot of nice housing opportunities. Affordability is
Yeah.
great in a lot
Oh
of areas in
yeah.
Lansing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, one thing I've been doing is comparing markets to Lansing. Me being in living in Lansing right now, I'm comparing
Yeah.
it to the Detroits and the Grand Rapids and the Ann Arbors, and I'm looking like I'd rather take a home here. It's a lot more
Yeah.
affordable, relatively speaking, because yeah, they'll really take your pockets out there. So that's definitely one of the selling points when it comes to this mid Michigan Lansing market for me personally. So I understand that. Amber, I got some information in regards to in regards to HUD. They just recently announced that the monthly mortgage insurance will be reduced. I don't know how privy you are to this, but I do have questions. Just tell us as much information that you know. How do
Okay.
you plan on informing your current and potential FHA borrowers about this significant reduction in their monthly insurance premiums?
Yeah, so I'm actually working with quite a few FHA borrowers right now, and I purchased my home with a FHA loan as well years ago. And so I always want to start my clients off with a really great local lender, and that's where they're going to get their best program, their best information regarding programs. This recent change has been something that's been really helpful to FHA borrowers in affordability. It's
Mm-hmm.
given them, for example, if you look at like a $200,000 purchase price, it's helped them to afford about $10,000 more in home with just this PMI reduction.
Mm.
So, and affordability has been one of the biggest challenges in the market for buyers for years now. So this has been a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. There are other things out there that lenders will be able to help buyers with program wise, MISHDA down payment assistance,
Mm-hmm.
the MCC tax credit. So there's a lot of different things to help buyers with affordability, but this is one that is a step in the right direction.
Got you. Got you. There's so many different things, programs and incentives to help people with. Like I'm hearing of FHA, obviously, that government loan program. Then you have NACA. I'm hearing of something called NACA, and I heard of the MISHDA down payment assistance. Any of your clients, have you had any experience with one of your clients maybe applying and taking advantage of any and all programs to the point to where they may even gotten in the house with no money at all, no money at closing or a down payment?
I've had clients get money back at closing because of their deposit coming back to them because they're literally almost zero due. So,
Mm, mm,
yeah, so there's definitely ways, and there's other good programs too. You've got a VA loan if you qualify. Certain areas qualify for rural development, which is zero down. The VA is zero down. So when you can take these zero down programs, and then you can take like the MISHDA down payment assistance,
right,
for
right,
example,
right.
that's $10,000, and the state just opened
Mm-hmm.
that up to every zip code in the state now. So anybody
Mm-hmm.
anywhere can qualify for that. Any area can qualify. So that you can combine those things and absolutely get into a home with very little money,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
possibly even none. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the sweet thing I want to hear. I just want to make sure we put that out there for our audience because
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
programs for that. I mean, so with that being said, this reduction in the mortgage insurance premiums and things like that, do you feel like this is going to start that influx of buyers coming back to the market and looking for things, or do you feel like it's not really going to have that much of an effect?
I think that it helps. I think that um, we did lose some buyers in the market with the interest rates increasing, basically doubling over the last couple years. And so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
did slow things a touch. But because of the massive inventory shortage that we've had nationwide for years, and the constant demand we'll always have for housing, it's a necessity. It's always going to be there. demand wise, we still see a lot of competitiveness in the current market. And so, bringing buyers back in and affordability is really going to change when we see more inventory come into the market. That's where we're
Mm,
really going to help get some more buyers back into the market,
right.
and help with these high prices that are being pushed by the low supply and high demand.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, as much as these programs and the government does to incentivize us to get out there and purchase these homes, I don't think anybody's gonna budge until we start seeing some prices move and things like that. So, I mean, it's a good gesture though. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll take that lower MIP all day, every day. So,
It's great. Yeah, and there's
right.
actually even some loan programs out there, um, that don't have mortgage insurance,
Yep.
depending on
Yep.
money down, or there's in-house
Mm-hmm.
loans with certain lenders that, the 0 down, no PMI. I've seen conventional programs like that that are in-house, so they're really great. But yeah, anything that can help with affordability, it all puts a little bit of a dent in it. And so we like to see these things happening, but our biggest thing is we need your house to sell. We need more
Yep.
inventory, and that's what's really going to help buyers the
Mm-hmm.
most.
Mm-hmm. All right, Amber, why don't you help me with something in regards to escrow? I have a little idea as to what it is. I think I've been helped out before with this, but help me and our audience. What is escrow and how does this work for home buyers?
Yeah, so an escrow account is it's an account that's used to collect your insurance premium and your
Okay.
taxes. And
Okay.
so they'll take that yearly insurance premium and your yearly taxes, which is usually two bills throughout the year.
Correct.
The lender will hold that in what's called an escrow account, and they will disperse those payments for you. And so it's all paid in one payment with your mortgage. So you're
Mm.
not having to worry about multiple bills going to three, four different places. But
Mm.
it also ensures to the lender that you're not defaulting on taxes, or that you're not maintaining insurance on the property, so that if there was a total loss, the lender's not out there. So it helps give some assurance to the person to the bank or the mortgage company loaning you the money, so that there's not a issue with getting foreclosed on for taxes or not being insured if there's a loss.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. That brings me to
Mhm.
another thought, Amber. Are you
Yes.
telling me I purchase a home, right? I'm paying my mortgage to my lender. Are you saying they take a portion of that mortgage payment and put that into escrow, or am I paying mortgage and then paying the escrow amount that they put up? How? eh, What's going on
Yeah,
there?
so they're separate items, but normally if you're one of a majority of buyers that are required to have an escrow account by the lending
Mm-hmm.
institution, your loan officer will quote you that payment upfront with everything all combined. So they're
So
going to
that would
give
be that would
you
count as my mortgage payment
your
altogether.
mortgage payment. It
Gotcha.
will look like your principal and interest, which
Mm-hmm.
is the
Mm-hmm.
actual mortgage payment, and then your taxes, property taxes, and your homeowner's insurance, which will be held in the escrow account.
Gotcha.
So you'll see that all as one payment.
All right, so ultimately that means yeah, I'm paying taxes, but as the home buyer, I don't directly pay taxes. So for the life of this loan, I'm technically not handling taxes. I'm paying my mortgage and my lender's paying taxes.
Correct. Yep. So you wouldn't have to pay
Mm.
taxes directly to the municipality. The lending institution will handle that, and they'll send out those payments. So as long as your escrow account starts out in full, what it should be, and as long as it's maintained to, if your insurance or your taxes change, that payment will change a little bit to keep
Yeah.
that balance accurate. So as
Mm.
long as you aren't in a deficit position, then you're not ever paying anything directly to the insurance company or the tax municipalities. It's all going to one payment to the lender. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, okay. I don't know why I knew you had to pay principal interest, taxes, and insurance, but I'm thinking like I pay the lender, pay the city, pay the insurance company. But it's good
No.
to know that all comes in one lump sum. That makes it. I For the longest out of all these interviews I've done, I literally thought that was the case. I'm splitting payment, but to know that it's just all one payment to the lender and they handles that, that's very good to know. A lot less stress.
Yeah,
We appreciate
it's
that.
it's a lot more convenient for most people. It's less bills to worry about sending out. You can
Oh
have the
yeah.
option to pay it directly if you want to, if you qualify for that with enough money
Mm,
down or certain loan types. A lending institution may allow you if you choose to pay it directly. But otherwise, most people hold an escrow account and the lending institution will disperse those
mm.
payments.
Good to know. Good to know. Amber, I want you to take some of your expertise and correct me if I'm wrong with this next one. But some of the information that I believe I saw in regards to the Lansing market, it it showed me that there's a slight increase in inventory. I don't know how true this is, but how has the recent increase in inventory affected your local market if that is the case?
Yeah, we've had a slight increase. It's still historically low.
Right.
It's still very much a seller's market because of that and competitive in many situations for buyers. But with the inventory increase that we've seen, it is helping buyers to have a little bit more time in some situations to make a decision on a house and also to have a few more options available to them, but it's still again historically low and not anywhere
Mhm.
near what we would like to see. If this gives you an idea, pre-COVID, we were low inventory market about 1,200 homes, and since this inventory shortage has really skyrocketed, we are currently at like 430 homes in the greater Lansing area.
Sheesh. Oh my
Yeah, and
goodness.
that's gone up when we talk about an increase from about 350. So, it's still very low and
Yeah,
it's still
relatively
it's
speaking, yeah.
yeah, it's still a very important time to have a very knowledgeable invested agent to guide you on purchasing a house because many buyers still are ending up in competitive situations and there's a lot that you can do as a buyer to win that situation and get the home that you want, and you need to have a good agent guiding you on that.
That's a fact. I agree with
Mm.
that. Agents also have extensive knowledge of the market, the area, and things of that nature. So you have the ability to kind of scout and keep an eye on these certain areas and neighborhoods that may be up and coming, or start to bring a lot more value to the area, or whatever the case may be. Are there any particular neighborhoods or areas in your market that speak to this, that are up and coming, that some home buyers should start looking into?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of gray areas. I mean, and it really depends on what you're looking for as a buyer on where you want to be. Are you an investor, or is it a primary residence? What are your needs? So, yeah, I mean, East Lansing's always great. You've got MSU campus out there, and
Hmm.
a lot of jobs nearby. Some of the other areas that have been really coming up around here are Grand Ledge area, Mason area. So there's a lot, in the greater Lansing area that is happening. A lot of jobs coming to the area. And, I think it just depends on what your needs are. And that should be identified early and often with your agent.
Mm, Okay. Okay. I have mixed feelings about living in East Lansing. Maybe
Yeah.
because that's where I am in my life. But for the audience who doesn't know, East Lansing is the college town. That's where Michigan State University is. So we're talking about 17, 18, 19, lower 20-year-olds, and
Yeah.
depending on what time of day and year it is, it could be a very hectic city, as small as it is. So, but nonetheless, it still has great neighborhoods,
Yeah,
very
and you've
very
got
safe, great
outskirts,
neighborhoods. Yep, yep.
outskirts, and you've got like Williamston has like Okemos, all those areas around there too that are nearby. If it's somebody that might be looking for housing that's close to the area, but maybe a little bit of a different feel. So yeah, there's a lot of options in the area, but
Yeah.
again, it just depends on needs.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I wouldn't necessarily call that an issue. Like I said, it's just something I
Mhm.
personally don't like to deal with.
Right.
But once again, going to you, you're the community advocate. You're from this area. So what do you see as the most pressing issue affecting the real estate market in this area?
It's the affordability in the housing inventory. That's really the biggest struggle that we're
Yeah.
up against right now.
Yeah.
I think in a community aspect, equity in housing has been a super important thing, and that's something that needs to be worked at a community level. And there's policy that can help with that too, of course. But yeah, those are the biggest things that I think we're really up against. And for buyers in the market right now, it's certainly going to be that affordability and inventory.
Mm, yeah, same song we're hearing. Different cities, different states. The
Sure.
inventory, the pricing. Yeah. Do you see any time in the foreseeable future of this kind of switching out from a seller's market to either a neutral market or a buyer's market in Lansing? You see that anytime soon, and when?
It could happen. It could happen. I mean, a lot of things could happen. There's been a lot
Yeah.
of things that have been really unstable over the years, right? And things that we've
Hmm.
never seen before in our lifetimes for a lot of us. So it's hard to say exactly if, when, and how. But
Hmm.
what we do know right now is values have held, appreciation has held, and it's at the highest it's ever been historically.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and the inventory is still so low, and how long that will take to catch up. I know a lot of builders are building at a higher rate than they anticipated already this first quarter of the year.
Really?
So that's a positive thing. Yep. So that's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
thing. But with the inventory being a third of what it normally is in a low market, that's going to take some time to catch up, and you're always going to have demand for housing. So we're just going to have to
Mm.
stay tuned and see what it does, and keep working hard for our clients to get the best results.
And as a consumer, it's just up to us. I mean, if you find a good deal, a home that you want, just jump on it. I mean, at least see if you qualify for whatever the case may be, because like Amber just said, we don't know what direction this market is going. If you're waiting for prices to drop or you're waiting for the rates to go down, we don't know when that's going to happen. So jump on
Yeah, it
what you
might
can.
not. And build equity now. Been one of
Hmm.
the best decisions I ever made in my life. I bought my home as a single mother in my early 20s. And
Yeah.
at the time it was scary, but I'm so grateful for the equity that I have now.
Hmm.
I wouldn't change that. And statistically, homeowners are much more wealthy than
40
renters.
times. I literally just looked at
40
that statistic.
times.
40 times
Yep,
more
you read
wealthier
it
than a
too.
renter. Oh my goodness. Look at where we are.
It's it's so important. So take the leap, but do it smart. Don't become house broke. Make sure you have a little
Oh
cushion to
yeah.
the
Oh
best of
yeah.
your abilities,
Yep.
but take the leap and do it. And I haven't met anybody that's regretted it yet.
Yeah. 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 That's inspiring, Amber. Let's keep it in that wave then. Inspiring motivational content. Is there a book, movie, quote, philosophy, any type of content, media, anything in that regards that you like to share with us that you feel like kind of changed your life or inspired you?
Oh, there's a lot. I'm a big fan of motivational content. A movie that stands out, it's probably kind of cliche, but I've always loved The Pursuit of Happiness. I can
Oh,
identify with
okay.
that movie so much.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
watched that in some of the tough times in my life when I was
Yep.
doing it alone as a single parent, and it shows that uphill climb, but it shows the end result if you keep at it. And
Oh
that, to
my
me,
goodness.
we all need that.
Man.
Um you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around. That's a big one to me.
Okay,
And
okay.
I think it's Zig Ziglar is the one that said you can have everything you want in life if you help other people get what they want.
Mm, love
So
it.
those
I
are the
love
big
how you
ones
hit
to
us with a
me.
book, movie, and a quote. I love that. And that Pursuit of Happiness, that movie. Just thinking about it makes me want to cry because that man went through a lot.
A
It's
lot.
hard to believe that's a true story, but that man went through the valley to make it to the top of the mountain hill. That was, you talk about
Absolutely.
inspiring for sure, for sure. So that, yeah, I can agree with that. That's a movie right there. That's a movie.
But he had a reason why, and that's what it
Yeah.
is. That little boy was his why, and
Mm-hmm.
to me, I mean, that's my children, and to you or anybody else, it can be anything. But if you
Oh yeah.
identify that reason why, and you just put your head down and keep going, you'll get there.
That's a great way to end it, Amber. With that being said, what is your why?
My why is my family, my kids.
Beautiful. You don't even have to say more.
Mhm.
I understand 100%. Same here. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for pulling up a seat here at the closing table and giving me and our audience all the knowledge that we can get. We appreciate that. Before we leave, if you have any last words and or want to tell the people how they can reach out to you, please do so now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm with Five Star Real Estate in Lansing. We're located by the Eastwood Town Center, and you can reach me anytime on my cell phone at 517-881-6658. Would love to work with you and help you achieve your home buying and selling goals.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you again, Amber, for being here and giving us your knowledge. We appreciate that. For our YouTube audience watching right now, if you've gotten to this point, please hit the like button. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. Amber, we're leaving the audience with a question for them to think before we leave. Audience, my question is, would you accept a mortgage that required additional fees like PMI, private mortgage insurance, if you didn't have to pay as much for a down payment? Why or why not? Let us know in the comments below. Besides that, we will talk to you next time.